All right, what is going on, everyone? This is Aiden Wood, Mix and Mastering here, and today we are on our final video of our house music mixing series, where we'll be looking at mixing all the effects within our tracks. Now, this will probably be the quickest video of the five, considering here too that we don't have too many effects going on in the song. But the logic for mixing our effects is pretty straightforward, and it follows in suit with everything we've been doing so far. So the big chunk of this is going to be doing our levels, and then we'll be looking again for our low end to see if there's anything interfering or that could interfere. We're not just throwing a low cut on every channel though, big asterisks on that. And then we're going to do a little bit of processing, not too much, but just looking at make things that might sound a little stale or boring just sound a little bit more interesting. So what we're going to do first is look at our levels. So let's just listen to our build going into our drop here and see if anything sticks out to us. Okay, so for me, there's a couple things that I want to do, and the first is getting that crash a little bit louder. So let's listen again here. Okay, that's sounding about right. Let's look at our white noise. Now with white noise, usually it's something we want to honestly feel more than audibly hear. It can be a little cheesy just hearing your generic white noise riser, so let's bring this down just a bit to make it a little less in the front of the build. That's about the right level. We feel it. It's definitely helping add the tension to the build, but it's not quite too loud. Okay, now let's look at this crazy riser we have down here. Now this is something we want to make pretty present because it makes the build a lot more interesting. So maybe bring it up a little bit. Or down just a tiny bit actually. So we actually left it in the end the same volume, the same loudness, but it sounded pretty good there. Okay, the last one, we can listen to our reverse crash. So let's hear if we want to bring this up at all. I think it could come up just a tiny bit. Maybe even more. That sounds about right in my ears right now. It's helping us really get into that crash. That's kind of the point of it. Helps us get into the drop. I think it's sitting pretty well right now. So let's look at this white noise fall, and I'm going to separate these because here we have a white noise riser. So this is our riser up here, and then we have our fall. I'm going to explain why I want to separate these in a sec, but let's just listen to the loudness, make sure it's about where we want it. Listen to context. Maybe turn that down a tiny bit. It seems to be sounding pretty good. Now we can listen to our hawk. And our hawk is this big sort of hawk noise right on the drop, which is giving a lot of excitement to that drop. So let's see if we can bring it up a bit. A little bit. Yeah, I think that's sitting about right. We want it to be heard because it is, this new interesting thing that we're adding, but we also want it to just kind of be one sort of impact that we have with our crash, with our white noise, with our hawk noise, And then there's just this last impact here. So we can listen to this. That's sounding a little loud. We can bring that down a bit. Let's listen all together. Let me bring it up just a bit. That's sounding really good for our impact right on the drop there. So great, we've done our leveling. Now we're gonna see if there's any low end information that we can take out that might be a problem in terms of how it affects our low end. And again, we're not just looking to throw a low cut on every single channel. We're gonna look and see where it would cause a problem. So for example, with our riser here, with our white noise riser 2, with our reverse crashes, I'm not worried about these things interfering with our kick and our bass, because here we have it going on in our break. And now we don't really care too much about having low end information in our break because we don't have our kick and our bass going at full force. So maybe there's a tiny bit of phasing somewhere, but again, we're not right on the chorus. We're not at the drop. We're not making sure that our low end is completely seamless. It's okay if we have these things that are filling in. It's actually great that we have these things filling in the space of the low end during the break. So I'm not even going to look at the low end for the riser, the white noise here. I'll look at it for the reverse crash just because it is in part of our chorus, but for the riser, I'm not even going to look at it. So let's look at the low end information for the crash. Crashes do tend to have a lot of low end, so let's just see here. If we look in an EQ, yeah, so we can see like that might interfere with our sub, so let's just throw a little cut there. It's sounding about right. We'll look at it on our white noise fall here too, so let's just, yeah, it's not really anything to worry about, I don't think, but let's do a little cut there. Nice. Now we can look at that hawk noise again. That doesn't even have any low end information, so I don't even need the EQ here. Definitely worth checking though, because it's right on that one where the kick and bass are hitting. And then let's listen to our impact here. We can see that that has a lot of low end information. So it's important for us to take that out on those things on the one. And this is a great example of why. So we'll just bring the cut up a little bit more. Just don't want anything coming through from that and hitting our kick and bass. So I think that's sounding pretty good. Can bring our hawk noise up just a bit again.
You are the kid.
Actually, I'm going to bring it back down. It's a little too loud. All right, so we're pretty much done the heavy lifting of our effects mixing here. The only last thing I would look at is to do just a little bit of processing, and mostly just on our white noise riser. If we listen to our white noise riser, it sounds pretty stale, pretty boring. Just a classic, yeah, just like a classic white noise riser. What I've been liking to do is adding just a little bit of chorus on these things, because it adds a lot of interest and that build in tension in our build. And so I'm just going to bring the width down, the dry wet down a bit too. And we'll hear what it does. Listen without, and with. It adds a lot of tension. Bring the volume down a bit, just because it adds a bit of swing with it. Yeah, to me that is just perfect. That's adding a lot more tension into our build with something just as basic as a white noise with a simple chorus. And this is a free plugin here, Tal Chorus. It works great on synths, effects, vocals, so definitely give it a shot. It's free again, so worth it completely. Yeah, and lastly, we'll just look at our riser here. We already have a little bit of processing going on from just the first mix.
Man, why you do that,
Listen here to see if a chorus might help too. So without and with. Make sure we got the right one here. Yeah, I can hear it adding a bit of depth, so I'm gonna keep it and just make sure it's not too loud in the context
Man, why
here.
you do that to yourself? Oh, you don't really want to know that. Well, if you're the kid, then show me something. Then show me something. When I say go, you try to grab it first. You are the kid.
Perfect. Now, I think that's sounding amazing. Everything sounds the right level. The low end information is totally clean, which means that I've done a very thorough process throughout the mix to make sure nothing interferes with it. And everything's just sitting right. Everything makes sense together. And that's exactly what we're looking for out of our mixing. So thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions about any part of my process here, anything that I used, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. And yeah, thanks guys again. This has been Aiden Wood mixing and mastering, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.